Hey there, Tyler here, back with another video, and in this video I'm going to be showing you some drywall work that I did for someone over in the Grand Rapids area. Now what I was coming here to do was actually touch up some things and fix some things that the previous drywaller had missed or had forgot. And as you saw at the beginning of the video, I laid down some drop cloths, even though this part of the house was kind of a work zone, so it wasn't necessarily a living space, so to speak. I still want to try to keep stuff as clean as possible. What I'm doing here is also plasticking off this room that is attached to this bigger room that I'm working in, just to try to prevent the dust when I go to sand. Now, what I went through and did first, there were some spots that were pointed out by the homeowner that clearly needed to be hit. But then what I wanted to go through and do is circle any other areas that needed to be hit, whether they were screw holes or some slight nicks in the wall surface that had been caused maybe from painting. You can see I set down a drop cloth on the tile just to try to keep stuff as clean as possible, though I will go back when I'm all done with the job, sweep, shop vac, and wipe down stuff with a rag. Now, this is a job in the Grand Rapids area, so this is kind of a good time for me to talk about something that I've worked out with this customer and something that I've worked out with other customers as well. Now, ultimately, if you are in a trade, you ultimately know what you are looking for and you know what things to look for. So no matter what the homeowner describes, there still is an element of I need to see the job first. And so I have done this multiple times now where a customer has reached out that lives an hour and a half, 2 hours away for a small job, and I work out an agreement with them where if I can only come for the one day and just mud it, and they have to possibly sand it, I will come do that, because for it to be worth my time to make that drive a couple times, I would have to charge way too much for a small job potentially. So just kind of want to throw that out there so that if you do live quite a distance and you have a smaller job, maybe it's something we can work out if you are okay with that. However, for a job like this, this was something that I had agreed with the homeowner that they were going to sand it. I was able to, upon initially assessing the job, I was actually able to mud everything with faster drying mud and sand everything so that the homeowner didn't have to sand anything. So that was really cool. Anyways, to jump back to the job for what we're seeing, you can see that I was screwing off the floor, and I had to screw off this whole wall. The drywaller that had hung this room, specifically that wall, there was a chunk of drywall that got stuck under the wall, and it looked like this piece of drywall was bowing out, and I just wasn't quite sure what was going on. And I went for it. I just pushed it really hard, and thankfully it busted out only a little bit, but I was able to screw it all in, so I had to go back and hit all that. Some of the other mudding that was bad was right around this door. This was where it was really bad. Even though trim is going to be covering it, most of it, there still are going to be some parts that you were going to see, and so I had to go through and heavy sand all that and then go through and clean it up. I had to use my little 2-inch knife. So I got done mudding. This job actually only took me a couple hours. I think I got there about 8:30, and I ended up leaving maybe around 1 o'clock in the afternoon, so I really wasn't there too long. I had to touch up some corners, touch up some screw holes, like I said, and some of the main areas. I went through and swept. I then went through and used my shop vac just to clean up stuff as best as possible. And then what eventually I will go to do is take a rag to wipe off the floors as much as possible. There clearly is more work that has to be done here in this room, such as painting and some trim and other things of that nature. So this room's gonna get dirty again, but I gotta do my part to keep it as clean as possible. This is quite shaky footage right here. That's because it's fast forwarded, but this is where I'm taking that rag and going through and wiping off all my little mud spots that are on the floor to just keep the floor as clean as possible. Again, just kind of showing you the finished product and all the spots that I went through and hit just to clean it up to get this room ready for paint. And I was glad to come help and take a drywall job that maybe didn't turn out the best and come fix it. And that's one thing that I try to do myself, is make sure that I'm doing just a good job initially on any job that I'm doing, but being willing to be open and honest. If I need to come back and fix a mistake, that I will happily come do that, because I want any customer that I do a job for to be nice and happy. Anyways, if you live in the Genesee County area, or you live a little bit outside of it, I'd be more than happy to come do a drywall job for you, whether it be big or small. Just go ahead and reach out to me, whether through Facebook or through text or through whatever. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, and also follow the Facebook channel as well. And whatever time of the day that you're watching this, whether it be the morning, evening, or night, I hope you have a good rest of your day. Thanks.